How many of you suffer from imposter syndrome? You don't feel you're worthy enough. You don't feel you're good enough. You got that voice in your head that's constantly dragging you down, saying no, no, no. I've had to deal with that voice and that feeling of being an imposter all throughout my journey. I got out of prison and I became an advocate for the changing of the New Jersey statute of limitations law. And, I had to call on senators to set up meetings, to try to sway them into voting for the new law, and here I am fresh out of prison, in my mind with the label murderer, because I murdered the pedophile predator who raped me as a child. And here I am calling on these senators. I'm in my mind's trying to tell me, who are we to call on these people? And I had to fight through that imposter syndrome. I met for lawyers representing the Catholic Church, and that same imposter syndrome wanted to flare up, and that voice wanted to just say, who are we to go sit down and try to negotiate a deal? And then I got to speak before the House Judicial Committee. All the advocates, that wanted to speak were given the opportunity, and they gave us 5 minutes each. And not one of the advocates was able to keep their time limit. And the senators are pounding the gavel and they're cutting off the microphone, and it became a real debacle. You're talking about such intense pain and trauma, and it was just coming out of all these advocates. But the senators were getting, frustrated. It was becoming a long day, and I decided I was going up there, fighting off that imposter syndrome. Who am I to speak before all these senators and demand a new law? But I did it, and I fought my way through going up there, and I said, I'm gonna give a 2-minute speech that is gonna punch them in the gut. And I went up there and I just hit some key points of my story, and I nailed them right in the gut. And I was done probably 2 minutes in. And all the other advocates were like, that was the best speech of the day. That was great. But I had to fight off that imposter syndrome. I did a documentary with NBC. And, they got me to promote it by getting me on the Tamron Hall daytime talk show. And, and as the weeks and days are leading up to my appearance on the show, I'm like, am I really want to go on a nationally syndicated show and talk about my abuse and talk about the murder? Am I going to get up there with the cameras on me and the audience surrounding me and freeze? And I had to fight through that. And when I was locked up in prison, I started reading books by this wonderful lady, Gabrielle Bernstein. And I was watching Oprah's Super Soul Sunday show. And she had Gabrielle on. And I was like, wow, Gabrielle's amazing. She did great on Oprah. And then who do I get to share the Tamron Hall show with? Gabrielle Bernstein. And I'm like, in that imposter syndrome mode, like, who am I to, co-headline, the show with her. And I went to the bathroom, before my airing of the show. And I came out of the bathroom, and in the alcove of the bathroom, there's Gabrielle Bernstein. And I just said, hey, Gabrielle, my name's Clark Fredericks. I'm on the show with you today. And she put me into a hug, and she whispers in my ear, you're my hero. And I'm like, I'm your hero? She goes, yes. Didn't you know I was sexually abused also? It came out in my 30s, when I was doing therapy. And I'm like, I had no idea. I didn't know that part of your story. And she said, let me go to the bathroom and please stop by my dressing room. And I've said, sure. So here I just get validated by Gabrielle Bernstein, one of the people I looked up to, when I was going through my healing journey in prison. And she tells me I'm her hero. So boom, that imposter syndrome just flew out the window. that imposter syndrome will kill your dreams and goals. Kill them. You have to fight past that voice in your head. And the way to do that, as I've mentioned in other videos, is to get wins to start your day off immediately upon awakening. Getting up early is win number one. Praying and giving thanks and gratitude for another day of life is win number two. And then reading or meditating or yoga or working out, win. Eating a healthy breakfast, no more garbage, cutting out all that sugary crap and muffins and bagels, and just you're gonna eat healthy, and that's another win. And as the Admiral of the Navy said, making your bed is task number one of the day completed. That's another win. Starting to take pride in yourself. As you build wins throughout your day, you're gonna feel good about yourself, and you start taking pride in yourself, and that'll lead to more wins. So that's how you fight off that negative voice in your head that says you're an imposter. Is just accruing wins every day. Peace.